Ricochet's final WWE appearance could reportedly be as soon as tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, with his contract set to expire. More details on Hikuleo's jump to WWE from New Japan Pro Wrestling after his contract expired. Speaking of Hikuleo, his brother Tama Tonga, reportedly WWE officials have been pleasantly surprised by his recent performances on SmackDown. Kenny Omega has been accused of defamation by Marigold founder Rossy Ogawa for recent comments made by Omega during a Twitch stream. Reportedly also, NXT talent was unhappy with the conditions last night at NXT Battleground at the UFC Apex. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. Let's start off talking about Ricochet and his impending exit, seemingly from WWE. Now, after reports over the weekend that suggest that Ricochet had given his notice to WWE and was expected to leave, possibly for AEW once his contract expires, many had wondered what the plan would be when it comes to write Ricochet off television. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select had previously reported that the WWE creative team was actively working on pitches to remove Ricochet from television in the event he does decide to leave WWE. Now, a new report from PW Insider has suggested that the current plan is for Ricochet to make his final WWE appearance tonight on Raw, and that he has no additional dates scheduled with the company. Now, unless WWE comes to him with a new offer that he can't refuse before his deal expires and he does a complete 180, his WWE run will likely be completed tonight live on Monday Night Raw. Now, as I mentioned over the weekend, it was reported that Ricochet is likely on his way out of the company, with PW Insider specifically reporting that he has given his notice to the company and he intends to leave when his contract with WWE expires later this summer. Ricochet is currently involved in something of a three-way feud with Ilya Dragunov and Bron Breakker on Raw, but is expected to be written out of WWE programming very soon as tonight's episode of Raw, with it being speculated that Bron Breakker could be the person to take Ricochet off WWE television. Now, Dave Meltzer has provided a new update on Wrestling Observer Radio, saying that Ricochet could be written off TV as soon as this week, as it was reported by PW Insider that it could be happening tonight on Raw. Meltzer said, quote, "He's leaving most likely. It's not official. Sunday morning, he was kind of up in the air, not signed the contract. WWE had been kind of, I guess, working with the idea he was leaving. They did have ideas for him in case he stayed. They may write him off TV this week, but I was told Sunday afternoon that he did in fact make his decision. But what his decision is, that I don't know. But I think most people have him leaving. I think that's the safest bet of the two. I can't say 100%. In the words that I said to Garrett the other day on his subject, he's going where he expects to be the happiest." Now, it was reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select that many expect Ricochet to land in AEW. What are your thoughts on Ricochet finishing up with WWE as soon as tonight's episode of Raw? What do you think of him possibly landing in All Elite Wrestling? Do you think he'll be better off there? Do you think he'll be happier there? Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Now, speaking of signings, it's been widely reported that Hikuleo is on his way to WWE. In perhaps one of the least surprising pieces of wrestling news of the year, WWE has interest in Hikuleo. Now, Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp spoke with sources connected to New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE, who said that Hikuleo has interest from WWE and they expect him to join the company when he's available legally to do so. Hikuleo's brothers, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, both joined WWE and the Bloodline in recent months after runs in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Bodyslam.net reported that Hikuleo has finished up with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, Fightful say they haven't confirmed that independently, but all the on-screen signs certainly point to him finishing up with the company. Tonga and partner El Fantasma dropped their tag team titles at this past weekend's New Japan show. Fightful Select had reported in the past that Hikuleo's New Japan Pro Wrestling deal was up in June of this year. Now, Fightful can't confirm if that's the case, but they did reach out to him upon Tama Tonga's WWE debut to ask about it. Hikuleo confirmed Fightful Select's report that both he and Tama Tonga had talks with WWE in January of 2023. However, an informal hiring freeze was in place that prevented them and many others from being signed by WWE at the time. By the time it was over, Hikuleo had agreed to a deal that kept him with New Japan Pro Wrestling until the summer of this year, although it looks likely now that his contract is up. What are your thoughts on Hikuleo making his way to WWE, and how do you think he'll fit into the Bloodline story? Let me know your thoughts about that too. We spoke about Tama Tonga, of course, the brother of Hikuleo, and the backstage reaction to Tama Tonga's WWE run since his debut with the company has now been revealed amid speculation about further changes to the Bloodline faction. Tama Tonga made his WWE debut on the April 12 edition of SmackDown, replacing Jimmy Uso in the Bloodline under Solo Sikoa's orders. The New Japan veteran has wrestled in several significant matches since then, teaming with Solo Sikoa to defeat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton in a street fight at Backlash, and making it to the semi-finals of the 2024 King of the Ring tournament. Per Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, everyone has been surprised about how good Tama Tonga is. Meltzer explained, quote, "Tama Tonga is one of the best guys they've got. He's been working great. Everyone's been surprised at how good he was. I think they knew he was good, but he's really turned it on. One of the things with the guys when they come from Japan, they're just used to a faster style, so they tend to stand out more when they come in because they're working that more relentless, more physical, more intense style than what they've been doing on WWE." Now, since Tama Tonga's addition to the Bloodline, the former New Japan Star's tag team partner and brother, Tonga Loa, has also been added to the group too, and now it looks like Hikuleo is going to be joining his brother in the Bloodline as well. Now, this is a developing story when it comes to AEW EVP Kenny Omega and Rossi Ogawa, who Omega has not mixed his words about in the past. Now, AEW star Kenny Omega has been accused of defamation after he gave his explosive opinions on one wrestling executive. Back in February, Stardom owner Bushiroad announced they had fired the promotion's founder Rossi Ogawa. AEW boss Tony Khan celebrated Ogawa's exit and made allusions to corporate espionage. While Khan has been aggressive in the free agent market recently, eyebrows were raised when it emerged that AEW had refused to make an offer for Stardom's biggest name, Julia. Speaking recently on his Twitch stream, Kenny Omega gave his thoughts on Ogawa, suggesting there is information not in the public domain that could be bad news. He said, quote, "From someone who lived it, breathed it, and was very close to, who has very close friends in the industry, I don't necessarily mean the wrestling industry, I mean the industry, the government-issued press, the information they know, I'm just going to leave it at that. I would say don't be so quick to listen to the praise for that individual, because someday, I'm not sure when it will be, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday people will know the truth. What they do with that truth, I don't know. Will they share it? Maybe. A lot of higher-ups in Japan, they know exactly what." Omega then clarified comments and alluded to what he suggests people know about Ogawa, paying particular attention to the fact the new Marigold promotion is openly looking for girls as young as 13 and does not want any stars who are married. He said, quote, "My comments on Rossi are whatever. There is nothing to say. I just think eventually, I don't care about Rossi being an E-drone. That's no big deal. He's done. That's not even the tip. Just you friggin' wait. If you are still interested in wrestling and you're listening to the stories and reading stuff, when it finally comes out, I will say one thing. There are a lot of people who refuse to work for him for the very same reason. Some of those people are in WWE, some are in AEW. They have a very good reason. It's not just I decided to wake up and not like this guy. If you want to know along what lines they tread amongst, the dude just flat out said we're looking for girls aged 13 to 21 that don't have a boyfriend and aren't married. We already know he puts underage girls in very revealing swimsuit calendars and books. I wish that's all he did. Let's put it that way. I don't know. I don't want to say anything. I'm not going on record to say anything. I don't want lawyers barking at my door. That's what I don't want to say anything. I don't have any sort of video evidence. I just have the good word of people who are very close. I'm outside of it. If those people feel like commenting or saying something, whatever. For now, I'll say that people are going to Marigold. Good luck. I hope you have a great time. I hope it works out for you. For me, I would be very hesitant. That's all. Now, speaking to Sports Graphic Numberweb, Rossi Ogawa has hit back and claimed Omega's claims about him amount to defamation. He said, quote, "People said that I was getting in the way with the AEW thing, but that's not true. Kenny Omega is attacking me over there and saying things that aren't true, but that's defamation. Many people make various statements, but there are a lot of false statements." And Rossi Ogawa also recently revealed that Triple H gave him the push to leave Stardom with this new Marigold promotion, seemingly being aligned with WWE. So what do you make of Rossi Ogawa's pushback, and do you think this could lead to something bigger between Ogawa and Omega in the future? Let me know your thoughts about that as well. And last night was NXT Battleground at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Now, last night's NXT Battleground show took place, as I mentioned, at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada, a location smaller than the WWE Performance Center where NXT television is taped. Now, one of the first things mentioned on commentary at the start of the show was how intimate the venue was, with the announce desk closer to the ring than usual. This was apparent during most matches, particularly the 6-woman ladder match that opened the show, which obviously needed room at ringside for some spots involving multiple people and the ladders. The NXT Underground match also featured numerous extras at ringside, with not much room to maneuver when Lola Bice and Shayna Baszler were brawling outside of the ring. As reported by WrestleVote, some talents were reported being as unhappy about the floor spacing or lack thereof last night. They tweeted, quote, "Well, thankfully nothing came of it. I'm told a handful of superstars were unhappy with the floor spacing around the ring last night at the UFC Apex for Battleground. It was noticeably tighter than the standard WWE/NXT events. Now, it's unknown at this point whether WWE and or NXT will return to the UFC Apex for any future shows. The next NXT Premium Live event is Heatwave, which takes place at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto on July 7, the day after WWE Money in the Bank in the same venue." But there you go, guys, the latest pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.